So today, how today is going to work is I have a topic that is going to be covering how the lead generation efforts work with product launches. And if you have a question about anything that I am covering, or you just want to say hi, drop it in the comments below as I go through what we're going through today with a nice demo. If anything comes up, I'm going to answer questions at the end, or if anyone is stuck, need some clarification on stuff, that is what below is for. So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If you are not familiar with who I am, I'm Khierstyn Ross. I am the founder of Launch and Scale. So I work with e-commerce brands and new sellers just like you to launch new products online. And we do it using Kickstarter and Shopify. The reason we do this with these platforms is because when you go to build a brand, it's something that you ultimately are building freedom, and you're building a life by design. So any Tim Ferriss fans in the audience here? Let me know below. So let's jump into the broadcast. So today's message is all about what your funnel has to look like when you go to Kickstarter. So first things first, when it comes to having a Kickstarter campaign or whatnot, before any product launch, you need and really should have an audience going into that launch. So an audience is going to be an email list, social media following, really people in your niche that are excited to buy your product as soon as you go live. If you don't have an audience before, then you're literally going to be launching to crickets, and that's never a good feeling. So one question I get a lot is, how do you actually build an email list? Like, not how do you market an email list? I'm releasing a video in a couple of days on how I actually build an email list from 0 to up to 10,000 plus subscribers. But how do you actually create and build and nurture that list? So the funnel we're going to use, if you're not familiar with what a funnel is, we need to look at it in terms of what a buyer journey is. So when you have your product, let's see if this works. Okay, so you have your product. And the reality is that you need to spread awareness so that people know to buy your product, right? But if you are in a pre-order mode, meaning you have a product that is in development and you want to do a Kickstarter campaign to get funding for people to buy your product in advance, so then you can go and order inventory without having to take capital out of your own pocket. So you're actually leveraging pre-orders or a pre-sale campaign. So here you have this product, and you need a way to get people to tell you that they're interested in buying your product. So that's where we come down to having an email list. An email list is awesome, okay? So on your email list, you need to build it up so that you have a few hundred or a few thousand people on your list who are specifically interested in buying your product. So the way that the funnel works is we have to look at it in terms of a buyer journey. So here we have, the goal is to get this person to buy your product. Okay? But you need to funnel them onto your email list. So today we're going to talk about exactly how we do that. And that is what a funnel is. A funnel really is like, you have an interested person here and you want to get them down here to your email list. Okay, so what the funnel is a way to capture the interest, get someone to understand what your product is and get them excited, so they're like, oh man, yeah, I want to learn more about that. How do I find out more? And you funnel them in. Okay, sorry about my chicken scratches. Not the best artist. That's not a career that I wanted to go into. So what exactly does this funnel look like? So the funnel itself that we're going to talk about today has 3 steps. So the very first step is that before you even start marketing your product, you want to have a spot that people can go to learn more. Consider that what is called your landing page. Landing page, okay? And what you're doing with that is all efforts when you go to market. So that means when you are posting on social media, you're doing TikToks, you're posting on LinkedIn, you're talking to friends and family, you are going after the press, okay? Anytime you start to talk about your product, it's marketing. It could be paid advertising. And you need to have one spot online that you send all that traffic, okay? So everything needs to come down to one ecosystem. Everything you do has to have a central intention to get everyone over to your landing page, okay? Even blogs you're writing, emails you're sending to an existing audience, okay? Everything has to funnel them to the next step. So this landing page has, what is it? Well, it has a little bit of product information, okay? And it has a email subscribe button on there so that when anyone who goes to your landing page, they see a little bit of information about your product and they're like, hey, yeah, I'd love to learn more. So what they do is they opt in, okay? When they opt in, that's going to take them to another step. So what the industry currently does is, you as a consumer and maybe as a marketer, you've done a landing page before. So this is not new. But what's new is this second step. And this second step that we're going into is qualifying your audience. So where the original thing came is that the original method says that, okay, you send all traffic to a landing page and then they subscribe and they're now on a thank you page. And great, they're now on your email list, okay? Most people, this is the funnel they use. But the problem with this funnel, and I, for the first 3-4 years, only use this funnel. But what we've seen in the industry is that as more and more people get bombarded with options to follow you on social media or SMS marketing, we've seen email open rates drop a little bit, which means there's a lot of noise happening online. So we've actually noticed that if you just build your list with the landing page and then to a thank you, there's a problem with this because this funnel only shows you that people are interested in your product, but they're not serious about buying your product. So what we've seen as consumers are more busy, more distracted. We need to do what we can to actually make sure people are serious about buying your product. So one question that can come up is like, well, if I'm saying that conversion rates from email are dropping over time, why are we still building an email list? Well, the reality is that the email list is your main point of contact with someone. You own access to that email list because they've automatically subscribed, so that if anything happens to like future social media platforms, you get kicked off Instagram, you get your YouTube channel banned, Facebook doesn't exist anymore. Like if you just focus 100% on building up your audience on other platforms, you don't control or own those platforms. So overnight, you can see your business get wiped out. So email is always going to be the main way to contact somebody. And so even though email rates are dropping over time, there are things that we're doing as marketers to counter that. So the new way that we have of building this audience is understanding that, okay, well, if email lists are sacred and we need to be building our email list, what's the funnel that we can use to drastically increase conversions, right? So here's what the old way of doing things is, okay? This is the old way, and the new way has one extra step to the funnel, okay? So we have, number one, by the way, do you like my little drawings? This is a new thing I'm trying. I don't have a whiteboard yet because of the glare, so let me know if this is making sense and you like this kind of thing. So number one, we have landing page. So that stays the same. We have a landing page, but then after someone opts in to that landing page, we then take that to step 2, which is an opportunity to upsell them on a small ticket offer. So what this means is that on this thank you page, instead of it just being, oh, thank you for subscribing, you'll hear from us later, what we're doing is we're adding in a second step where it's like, all right, they opt in with their email here. And then on the second step, before the thank you page, we're like, hey, do you want a chance to save a bit more money or qualify for free shipping or get this free gift, right? So there's something extra that we can offer people in exchange for a small $1 deposit. So we call this a VIP program. VIP program is something where it uses something called a micro commitment. So a micro commitment is a small action that you can get somebody to take that makes them more likely to follow through on the big action you want them to take. So the big action you want them to take is to eventually buy your product. But it's a catch-22 because if you're doing a pre-order campaign, you don't have a product to sell just yet. So what you need to have is a way to to test how committed people are about buying your product, and also making sure that if they can't order your product for a few weeks, that they're invested. So the way that we do that is by harnessing a $1 micro commitment just for a very small thing. What they're doing is they are reserving their product, okay? And just by taking this 1% or this $1 commitment, you are drastically increasing how engaged your list is, how qualified your list is, and how serious your list is about actually following through and buying your product. So when we build up a list this way, the old way is flawed, because the old way says that, okay, well, we're going to do all this marketing and get all these people to my landing page. And we're going to see if people are serious about it based on if they opt in. But the thing is that there's no skin in the game. They have nothing committing them to buy your product, right? So by taking it a step further, the average person who puts down $1 in exchange for an added benefit, they are 5 to 10 times more likely to purchase your product than the regular landing page old model. So by you having a form of a micro commitment, now we use this in form of $1, but by you having that and taking that a step further with your pre-launch strategy, using micro commitments to test your audience consistently is going to significantly increase your conversion rate to a customer when you actually go and buy your product. So what is the conversion rate? Well, the old way, if you just build your audience this way, is that you're going to see roughly, if you're lucky, 3% conversion on your list, okay? The average is 1 to 2% on your list if you have a product that's like $70-ish. But the new way, when you get about 6 to 10% of people who have opted in actually put down a $1 commitment, what you're going to see is these guys who have put down $1 are 30 to 60% conversion rate to a customer with that. So that's huge. So that's like mechanically what the funnel looks like, but we want to take this a step further in your communication with people. So once somebody has opted into your list, that shows that, great, they're actually interested in your product, right? Like that's a very good assumption. But then when we take it to $1, anyone who put down $1 are pretty serious about buying your product and they're pretty interested, right? Well, how about taking that a step further with when they go to the thank you page, when they opt into emails, every few weeks on your email list, you're going to test the engagement, okay? And you can test the engagement through other smaller micro commitments, such as, hey, Khierstyn, founder here. I just wanted to confirm that you're still going to be pre-ordering our product when we go live on this day, okay? If you're opening a Facebook group, you can say, hey, we've just opened up this free Facebook group for VIPs, exclusive access to behind the scenes content. Great. What the uptake on that is. If they join the group, you can say, hey, reply to this email, let me know what your biggest frustration is, or if you've ever experienced a moment when they were experiencing the problem that your product solves. There are different things, like asking questions is getting a commitment from people. It's getting an engagement, and any time that you can get people to engage with you, awesome. That's how you're going to make sure that you're building a list that is not only qualified, but you're also building a relationship with these people. So that is the funnel. If you've used something like this before, or if you are curious about how to implement this strategy into your existing funnel, then let me know in the comments below. But apart from that, thanks for your time today, and I'll talk to you soon.